This video is a tribute to Martin Bakole. Let's get into this one. Hello, welcome to me, Ed. I hope you're well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, I know this is a few days past the event, but I'm still going to be singing Martin Bakole's praises after he just demolished Jared Anderson in the fight card, the Terence Crawford Madrimov fight card in Los Angeles last weekend. Great display all around, and it's kind of, he was taking his shots from Jared Anderson. Yeah, he showed, a bit of heart in there as well, but it's almost like he was getting hit by Jared Anderson, some big shots as well, but it's just nothing. It was just, he wasn't even feeling it. But the punishment he was giving out, was dishing out, it was just timing him over and over again, and it was almost like some of the punches didn't seem to be big power punches. That's what it's just so impressive that he was just getting through. And, the uppercut was just coming through when Jared Anderson's head was just popping back like that time and time again. It was, it was, in many ways, it was a vicious demolition, but it was a glorious demolition as well. And what does this leave Jared Anderson when he's going to, have to go back to the drawing board? Luckily, I think we're moving away from this. If you get a loss on your record, or a couple of losses on your record, your career is over. I think possibly if, Jared Anderson was a 32, 33-year-old, then you kind of think, you probably might want to think about hanging these gloves up right now. But because he's only 24, 25, yeah, lots of time to come back. He just needs to regroup and just find out where he's at. But in terms of Martin Bakole, look, again, if you watch my videos, I've always been saying about Martin Bakole, what a great boxer he is. The power, very much the unsung boxer, the one that people don't really want to acknowledge, possibly don't really want to say how good of a boxer he is, how much power he's got, but he's a danger to anybody, and maybe that's why he might have been overlooked by a few as well. Yes, COVID's come in the way and everything like that, but I'm so glad he's got onto the Riyadh season. He fought once, Carlos Takam, and then beat him there. He's Turkey Al Sheikh. They're showing some loyalty to Bakole as well, to say, no, we're going to have you on another card. Hey, let's put you up against Jared Anderson. Let's just see. I think most people, certainly most Americans, you would imagine, would have expected Jared Anderson to win. But oh, no. We, on this side of the pond, we were saying, no. Watch out for Bakole. So the point is, it was a fantastic display, and I kind of feel vindicated, and many other people, maybe on this side of the pond, feel kind of vindicated to, in saying, watch out for Martin Bakole, because he's a problem for anybody, right? But where does Martin Bakole now? In one of my previous videos, I said, after that display, Turkey Al Sheikh and the Saudi Arabia card, Riyadh season cards, they have to be saying to Martin Bakole, please come on to our fight cards again straight away. So, given that's what I feel, and that's what I would hope that they would be doing, because he stole the show. He stole the show. He stole the fight card. Everybody's talking about, and waxing lyrical about Martin Bakole, right? Because he's the one who brought the noise. He's the one who brought... Yeah, there were some decent other fights. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating everybody at others' fights. But what I'm saying, he was head and shoulders above the rest in terms of delivering entertainment and that knockout blow, right? So, where does he go now? Who can he fight? Well, people are already talking about him against Zhilei Zhang. Great matchup, great, what a banger that will be, no doubt, because they kind of both just stand there. I feel that Martin Bakole's got a little bit more head movement, a little bit more movement, but they're both just going to stand there and knock 7 shades of shit out of each other, aren't they? Let's face it. But I'm just looking at some other matchups where I think, actually, I wouldn't mind. Now, another boxer I thought came out of the last fight card, with the Terence Crawford Madrimov fight card in Los Angeles, with a lot of credit, was Jarrell Miller. Going against Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz hadn't fought for 2 years. He had played 2 or 3 decent rounds, let's say. But then it was all Jarrell Miller as well. I mean, how it became a draw, I do not know. I thought it was much more Jarrell Miller win than a draw. But look, It wasn't an amazing display from both, but at the same time, it was enough there for me to say, do you know what, Jarrell Miller deserves something a little bit more. And people are talking about matching these two up. I'm not so sure matching these two. The other thing is we've got to acknowledge Andy Ruiz broke his hand. He broke his hand quite early in the fight, I believe. I can't remember the third or fourth round, was it? I can't remember what they actually said. So that's obviously going to have a massive impact on how he can fight. But people want to match this up again. But the problem with that, with head injury, I'm no doctor, but I think, you're going to be waiting a few months before you can fight again. It depends on surgery, it depends on lots of things as well, and the recovery of that. We could be talking, I don't know, on the outside. You tell me, how long is he going to be out for? Probably another year. So he's already been out for 2 years. He's had an unconvincing draw against Jarrell Miller, and he's going to be out for another, let's say, 8 months, a year. That's a long time to be out of the ring. So, who for Martin Bakole? Yes, Zhilei Zhang. Yeah, that'd be a fantastic fight. But I'm saying Jarrell Miller against Martin Bakole, that will be another super heavyweight clash. And I think that will be a real banger. I'm not sure if anybody else has said it already, but I think that will be a cracking fight. I think they're trying to do the Jarrell Miller against Andy Ruiz again. But again, too long to wait. Maybe in the future, when Andy Ruiz has recovered, fine. But right now, get Jarrell Miller on another fight as well. I think he's earned his value on the Riyadh season and in the heavyweight division. We want to see the heavyweights all go up against each other. Actually, all boxers just, ignore the politics. That's the whole point of the Riyadh season, is to get all these promoters together under one banner. Get rid of all the politics. Here's the money. Forget about the purses. You want that money? That's it. That's what you got. And they're going to get them in the ring and start fighting each other. So now we're kind of whittling away those boxers that you think you're not quite at the races, or you haven't really prepared well enough, and you're going to get all these other clashes. So, hey, who else could you have against Martin Bakole? Well, maybe a Joe Parker. Personally, I think Martin Bakole would just wipe the floor with Joe Parker. Right now, I'm just so enthusiastic about Martin Bakole. I just can't see anybody else out of the top 3 or 4 giving him any kind of a problem. Now, of course, he had a fantastic display. You could argue against a very unprepared, maybe, underappreciated, or somebody who overestimated their own ability against somebody else, in Jared Anderson, of course. But I just think Martin Bakole is so far ahead of most other heavyweight boxers right now. And you put him in with a Joe Parker, I just don't think I would stick my neck out right now and say that Martin Bakole would be a problem for any heavyweight. And that's, I know I can already see people doing this right now. Usyk as well. I think he'd have a big problem. Usyk would have a big problem against him. Tyson Fury would have big problems. AJ would have. Possibly not AJ. Stylistically, AJ might do a bit better. But he just seems to be able to take it so much and then deliver knockout blows. And that's it. It could be that he just went up against Jared Anderson, who overestimated himself and underestimated Martin Bakole. We don't know. We don't know how he's going to fare against somebody else. But you just want to see these big matchups. But I say, if you can't get all those big fights, and I understand the landscape isn't quite there yet for Martin Bakole in terms of that, but I would definitely have him in with Jarrell Miller. I would definitely have him in with there. Yeah, Zhilei Zhang, I would have him in, no doubt, number one choice. But Jarrell Miller's got a big shout there for me, for Martin Bakole as well. But all I can say is I really want to see Martin Bakole in the ring again very, very soon. If I don't know if this is even possible. Turkey Al Sheikh, are you listening? Ears open. But could you get Martin Bakole in the Batavia Bivol undercard? Could you get him in there? As far as I saw, he didn't take a lot of punishment in that fight either. Yeah, he got caught a few times, but it didn't seem to hurt him. So for me, Martin Bakole on the Bivol Batavia undercard, which I don't believe has fully been filled up yet either. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But all I can say, I'm just going to keep on seeing Martin Bakole until his next fight, because it's one of those fights. I tell you what, I will leave you with this. If this is any gauge of how I feel Martin Bakole has done, the fight that I've been watching time and time again recently, let's say in the last couple of months, for some reason, I just always search it on YouTube and I always think, I want to watch that again. And that is AJ against Ngannou. It was such an epic knockout. You think, wow. Spectacle, optics-wise, there's that word again. It just said so much about AJ and where Ngannou really was in terms of against an elite boxer, right? The fight that I keep on watching now in a similar kind of way is Bakole against Jared Anderson. And why? It's because of the knockout. It's because of, it's because of the drama that it brings to that fight, to the spectacle. And this is what I suppose in my, Terence Crawford video when I was talking about that, this is what I'm talking about. It's about the spectacle. It's about the drama. And even if you're a casual fan or a purist, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, you want the big knockouts. You want high drama. You want, fighters just going for it and maybe being out on the last legs and then suddenly coming back, a little bit like Carl Froch type thing. You had mass drama there. And these are the fights that you really want to see. Sometimes, whilst a fight can be technically fantastic, they can still be bore fest, right? They can still be snooze fest. So, in terms of Martin Bakole, it wasn't that at all. You just sat on the edge of your seat watching this thinking, what is going to happen next? Who's going to land that hammer blow and who's going to fall flat on their face or land on their ass? And it was, as a, fourth round, fifth round came around, it was only one person who was going to go on the deck. That was Jared Anderson. And the picture of his head just pinging back every time Bakole landed a blow was just... It was just something that I'm going to keep on watching time and time again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you rate Martin Bakole now? How did you rate him before? What do you really think of him? What do you think would be a great matchup in the future? Would he pose a problem for any of the heavyweights right now? Should they be really scared of him? Or is this more of a flash in the pan, once he goes up against another fighter, even Joe Parker, let's say, who I believe he will beat? Do you think he'll be like, he'll be found out? But there are so many other fights out there. Unfortunately, if Chisora, Joe Joyce, if Joe Joyce hadn't been so disappointed and lost, you kind of think, you know what? Martin Bakole, Joe Joyce will be another great matchup. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But again, I think I'm going to watch Martin Bakole Anderson again. That was a great fight. What a banger. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for future videos. And I will catch you again in another video coming very soon. Bye now.